Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we agree upon that it's 2.
So it has a value of 2, but we haven't even decided what value things have yet.
It doesn't matter at this point.
Okay.
Just,
That's
So is someone recording too then?
Yep. So
Do you want to put it in bold so that we can see it easier later?
yep.
It's the only number on that entire page.
Pretty much.
Draw your eye to it.
I'm just gonna put
Okay,
a 2
yeah, I
for
know.
now.
Okay.
I'll change it later, but it is a 2 there. Okay, so the next one
What's the next story, boss?
is, as an admin, I want to be able to delete papers so that the papers can be removed from the database. So, okay, okay. I think it's really easy. That's pretty much why.
So you think it's easier than the last thing?
It's deleting papers.
It is actually. It
The
would
other
be
thing is
easier.
just accept.
It would be easier, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure it will be A, because you have to make sure that you delete it properly. So.
Yeah, well, I've done SQL and I think
Yeah.
it's easy. That's pretty
I
much what I think.
think it's the same as the last story.
Yeah, it is pretty much the same thing, except instead of adding, you delete.
Yeah.
It's easier to do, but you also have to be far more careful about cleaning up in the right way.
Yeah, and
Which
that's,
is-
I honestly just think it's easy, but I mean, I guess if we want to.
Oh no, I'm dialoguing.
Yeah, I know, and I'm saying that to agree upon everyone, I'll just put 2, which is not even supposed to do it like that, but I'm just gonna say, yeah. Okay, 2. Okay, so next one, as an admin, I want to approve new users' accounts so that the new user accounts can be added to the database. Okay, so. Okay, what do you think it's 5, Julie?
Because I've done before.
Okay, yeah, that's
Fair
fair
enough.
enough.
Well, we're adding
I probably
a
would-
user from unregistered to registered.
Groundwork's been done, right?
I mean, you can just do checks for a registered user when they try and do stuff that only registered users can do. So technically, accepting a user will just be turning that boolean on.
Okay, so assuming we keep users in a table, just assuming,
Mhm.
it would basically just be altering the value of a field to be registered as opposed to unregistered, and with all of the connotations that being able to access the website brings with it. It's a simple flip.
Or you could just have registered and unregistered in 2 different tables.
Well, then why not A then? I would have thought if it's just a simple flick, would be
You could do it
1.
either way,
Yeah, well,
I guess.
I'll leave 2.
It's essentially adding something to a table.
Yeah, fair
Which is
enough.
the same as the previous two.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Then I'll leave
Yep.
2.
Yeah, well, I'm just doing it anyways.
Alright, we all put 2.
Yeah, we're gonna put 2 anyways.
We all put 2.
Yeah. So again. Okay.
What do we imagine it like?
Alright.
You just start throwing other numbers into the mix, then it gets sad.
Okay. So, as an admin, I want to delete a user's account so that the user accounts can be removed from the database. Oh, look, I agreed.
Well, again, it's removing something.
Yeah. Just saying. As an admin, I want to be able to modify user accounts so that I can change a user's details on the database. Okay.
Can I read it again?
It's modifying user accounts. User information about users.
Yeah, I wanted to put down 3 kind of thing, like I was.
Yeah,
put
I
down
guess
2.
I guess maybe we should have a 3 in there.
Because
It's-
it's like creating a table, but you have to do it without breaking the user's account. So it's slightly. You have to-
Essentially, we're running on the assumption that all the data's already there and then you want to add something in there.
Yeah,
So you're restating data that's already there.
yeah, but you have to make sure you do it without breaking existing function, which is why I would put down a 3 or a 4, like I put down a 4, just to be sure.
Which functionality would it affect?
If you change the wrong thing, you have to be careful. If you change the wrong thing, They might stop getting notifications or all sorts of stuff. We're assuming, without being 100% clear, everything that we have to store for a user.
Well, if this is Fibonacci, it's supposed to have 3 anyway.
I'm getting a 3, okay?
Yeah, I'll get a 3 as well. Everyone get a 3. Is it supposed to have a 7 as well?
No, it's supposed to have an 8,
Oh, okay.
and then a 13.
Right.
Okay, king can be 13. Replace the 10 with an 8. Does that work?
Yeah, just get an 8 instead of 10.
And then we've got a proper Fibonacci sequence.
Okay, let me just check that I've got everything. 8, 2, 3, 5, 8, 10. Okay. No.
You should get a stand.
Yeah, that's alright.
Probably didn't think through it before you volunteered, did you?
I really just didn't mind.
Okay, that's good.
Alright, so yeah, for the same one.
Okay, so what, we replay our cards?
Yep.
Okay, so...
3. 3 is 3. Okay.
Okay, we should still technically, if we're playing proper, we should... Proper whatever this is. Playing, okay. Okay, next one.
As an admin, I want to be able to modify a paper so that I can change data of a certain paper from the database. Okay.
Whoa.
All right.
Pretty much same as the last one.
Read it again, just so I can make sure.
As an admin, I want to be able to modify a paper so that I can change data of a certain paper from the database.
And that wording means working.
That wording
Change what data?
Sorry, my bad.
It's just data of a
Man,
paper.
you're saying someone can fuck with data in the paper.
I assume we're talking about the data
The
related to
meta-
the paper.
the metadata, yeah.
Okay, let me revise then.
Yeah, let's
Put down a 3.
because I thought it was
Yep.
3.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll put down a 3 then.
3.
Sorry,
Why
yeah,
3?
I thought it was something else.
Why 3? No, I
Because
just
it's the
want
same
to.
as modifying user data, there's no more complication in that, you just modify data details.
Okay.
Assuming the coding is all there, this is all just, modifying the existing code base.
Okay.
I don't use the stories for actually coding. I don't like it.
That's functionality. That's,
Yeah.
what's the one thing we're not supposed to have to use a story?
Description of functionality. Description of how it should be implemented.
No,
User
'cause
stories.
then they're like, we have to have user accounts.
So the user stories should define functionality but not specify implementation.
No, never mind, we'll get to it.
Okay.
Okay.
On most of the time they should specify.
All right. So next one is the endless user stories.
Okay.
So pretty much done with the admin ones. Okay, my ones. As an analyst, I want to add metadata for a paper so that I can add more information for that paper. I'm not too sure if the wording was right.
Are we including the retrieval of metadata, as in the analyst going to find metadata?
I want to add
The analyst-
metadata.
The analyst does that on their own.
Okay, so we don't have to code for that function. We don't have to
You
code.
put a link to Google.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what I think.
Okay. I thought it was going to be easier. I guess not.
Then you have to enable all the metadata is required to fill in.
You have to link it to the stuff as well.
I thought it would
To
just be
decide
a whole bunch of boxes that you have to fill out because if you read the
Yeah, but
we have to
there's
come up
table
with the
infrastructure
boxes.
behind that. There's,
Yeah.
sorry, there's database infrastructure behind that. You're gonna have to link it to data entries, which is gonna require primary and secondary keys and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Aren't the keys all the metadata anyway?
Yeah, but if you're gonna store them in a table, you're gonna have to link entries in the metadata tables with entries in the paper tables.
Yeah.
You're gonna, and which means you're gonna have to have primary and secondary.
Okay, so just for it, I put down 3, just
Okay.
to agree with you guys.
But you understand why?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, I just thought it was filling out boxes, but then, yeah.
3 might be
it is.
cutting it a bit short then if we're putting that much effort.
Actually, how good are you guys with databases? SQL? How confident?
Well,
are you?
essentially, you transfer it to a database would be 5 lines of code.
Yeah,
It'd
but
be
making sure the integrity of
variable
the
A,
database.
it's a data table 2, 3, 4.
The integrity of the database might, like, how confident are we with databases, is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a few months.
Okay, then,
Good.
yeah, then I think 3 is good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd put 5 if we were confident.
Alright, okay, next one. As anonymous, I want to modify information about a paper so that I can update or correct paper information.
So that's basically modified metadata.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I really should have put that down as metadata instead of information. 3, okay.
It's okay, some of these user stories are gonna be duplicates or very close, so
Yeah.
we can always go back, look at them, and,
None of this really includes all the groundwork required for creating user
Yeah.
accounts and everything.
That's not leading me.
That's,
to how to create-
that's what I'm concerned about, that's what I mentioned
Yeah.
before.
Like maybe
That's
do
what I meant,
something.
like user stories, those do that.
No.
Kind of.
Sure.
Who registered user, that's you next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's a lot of
Wait,
those.
hang on. I'm a registered user. No, I wasn't a registered user.
I was
Registered
registered
user.
user.
Ah, right.
I did a lot of user stories.
I did 4, because that's the ones I was given.
I did 5. Okay, so as an analyst, I want to pick papers from a list of moderated papers so that I can analyze and select the papers. Select the paper.
Can we read it again, please?
Yeah, as an analyst, I want to pick papers from a list of moderated papers so that I can analyze the selected paper. Okay, unregistered users. As an unregistered user, I want to search for a paper to gather information. It's a very generic search of papers. That's pretty much it.
I want to do 2 again.
Yeah.
I feel like it's leaning more towards the 5. because-
Did you put 2 cards down? Okay.
I feel like it's leaning more towards the 5 because.
I'm really curious, because how do we run the correlation between what you type in and the name of all the items we're doing? And
Well,
this
this
one's
is
my
tags.
first-
This is to do with tags that you attach to keywords. You remember
Yeah,
the web
there's
dev,
a lot
the
of
web dev
tag-
lecture?
Yeah, but you still have to search everything via tags. If you do it that way, you have to search it all via
But
tags.
what you do, you sort of.
Or names
it's
and
tables.
titles.
You have more tables that link to your papers with a list of tags that they have.
Well, you
and
could
then-
do tags, you could also do it by paper name.
Yeah.
But you have to do string.
No, but this
No, no,
is.
but that's tags.
But
you
this
can
is
put
more the
together.
generic way of searching. So like if
Yeah,
you.
well, that's how people search with tags.
That's every search.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically just gonna have
Well-
to take what the user's done, find relevant tags, and then display them in sequence of how relevant we think they are.
Alright.
Right, so I don't think that's gonna be that like done like that. I think that's gonna require a lot of
That's,
thinking.
that's assuming we decide to use tags and not string matching.
Yeah, but I mean, that's an example. We could use string matching.
String matching would probably be hard.
Could turn into binaries.
Yeah. Well, there's a number of ways we could do this, but I don't think any of them are gonna be especially easy.
Yeah, okay.
Or at least not so much hard as in
Actually-
lots of code.
Tags is
Well-
relatively straightforward if you go that way, because then you just search a database of tags, we don't have to put any in there.
Yeah, but
for
then we
example.
also have to discuss how we would rate these, what order we would show them in, how
Well, you
relevant we think
use a
they
string
are.
tokenizer.
Okay,
No,
so
but we have to
do
sort
we agree on
the
5?
results. Yeah.
Okay.
We'd have to sort all the results we get into a sequence that we feel is accurate.
I mean, you use a string tokenizer and that breaks it down into several tokens, and then the one that has the most tokens matching is at the highest importance.
So we'd have to sort tags by priority.
By most matching.
No, I mean, when we put tags onto the documents, we'd have to sort them by.
Okay, so
Yeah,
next
sorry.
one, because I don't have a long
Yeah,
line.
planning poker, not discussion time.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay.
How long do we have class?
Yeah,
10 minutes,
exactly.
10 minutes.
So as an unregistered user, I want to search for a paper by criteria to gather information, so that's specific information. And what I mean by criteria is the keyword for any term that is used in searches like year, author, rating, so I guess it is a tag thing. Down. Okay, so.
Well,
I know, because the groundwork's been done
Exactly,
for
I'm
the
saying the
previous
table
one.
already has all of our keys. You're filtering by keys of our table. That's it.
True, all right.
That's all we
Yep.
have to do.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Because
So-
it's basically just the last user story. gone.
It's just a more fun search.
Yeah.
It's just
with
transferring,
other stuff.
it's transferring the table to a search.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, of course. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, sorry. I
So,
know, that was,
Even
well,
3 is it?
2. I would put 2, honestly, but
Well,
3
it-
works.
No, we haven't. It's worth looking into.
Yeah. Okay, so registered users, okay.
Yeah.
As a registered user, I want to be able to submit papers so that the database has more material to browse. Mm.
Bring one up.
Yeah. What?
We,
Okay.
we are adding one entry to database.
Yeah.
That's it.
I want to be able to submit papers. What you're
Yeah,
doing
but-
is you're sending, you're saying to the
We have to
admin,
have a form though. We have to set up a HTML.
yeah, but
form.
you're asking the admin to actually send, to verify that the paper's okay. So you're just sending it to
No,
the
this
admin.
is just, this is just the user submitting.
It just goes to the list, to the
Yeah,
array, whatever.
we have to add it to the list, but in order to achieve that, we have to have a number of criteria which must be completed, so we're gonna have to set up an HTML form, which actually, that looks nice, which is really gonna take longer than actually setting up that, yeah, it's form. So the adding to the list is super easy, but we need a certain set of information.
Yep.
Certain things have to be filled out in a certain way,
Where does
and
it
it has
say
to be done
that?
through the website. No, but, well, how else are they gonna submit them?
Well, you submit a link to your paper.
Yeah, but
With
we
a
also
description.
want other information, don't we? Or are we
You
just
could
gonna-
write a description, perhaps a
Okay.
small thing on credibility, but as far as I know, the stuff we've been provided with doesn't say what the user has to provide when they submit a paper.
Okay.
Nothing
Yeah.
listed.
Yeah,
So
'cause you-
while
you-
we may have a form, we don't know anything about one at the moment.
Okay, so, well
As far
then,
as I
that's
know.
pretty simple, because a form with just the URL would be like
Yeah.
3 minutes. Okay, yeah.
I mean,
That's
we're also
okay.
assuming that registered users have to be.
As a registered user, I want to be able to give credibility ratings to papers so that users, so that I read, whoops, sorry. To papers that I read, yeah, okay. So that users are able to differentiate between good resources and bad resources. That's,
So that base will do.
yeah, it's pretty easy. Just like a number or something.
Yeah,
A
because all it is.
a number and an average.
Yeah, but then you
Okay.
need to have a form that lets you assign it, so you're
Well,
gonna have to
that's
go through.
depending as to whether we allow reviews, and apparently you have to. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's a
but
text
they have to
field.
put- yeah,
It's a text
text field with, you show the username, you show the text they wrote, and you provide a little graphic with the average of whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
Alright, next one, as a registered user, I want to be able to give confidence ratings to papers that are read so that the users are able to differentiate between good resources and bad resources. The user, I want to be able to withdraw papers I've submitted for approval so that paper submission mistakes do not waste time.
yeah, okay.
Okay, this one. Okay.
Right, remove papers.
The forms to get that are gonna be a slightly, because you have to look through the list.
Yeah.
As far as just making sure it's accurate, you have to specifically record, first off, how are you gonna tell which user it is if they are, actually, no, registered user.
We put a button that says cancel.
No, but this is after he submitted it. No,
You submit it and you hit cancel. You
Yeah.
have a little thing that says in moderation. on
but then we
moderation.
need to link his account with the list up until the, with the paper up until the point of thing. I feel like
You
3.
just, you put an ID when you submit the paper, you just search the table, if it's not being moderated, you pull it, if it's being moderated, you send
So we,
notifications.
so we have a list that, we have a list attached to,
The list
to each
contains-
user containing the IDs of papers that they've submitted.
Yeah.
And if they're in moderation, you can pull them, and if they aren't in moderation, then you remove them from the list
Well, they're
because the user can't.
attached to your account, most likely,
Yeah.
your profile will have information, if it has information on papers you submitted, then you have an ID to pull into the database
Okay,
with.
okay.
So theoretically, all you need is that ID, go into the database, search for it, if it's not in use, you pull it out, and it's done.
Okay.
You could put a text field if you want for reason for cancellation.
Stay sober.
Um,
3v1.
that still doesn't matter. I can change your ideas if I
That's
want.
what I said. I want 3v1 to this.
I don't know. It might not be that easy.
Should we call it 3 to give ourselves the 1 mark?
Sure.
1 mark
I guess everyone
buffer.
happy if we pick 3.
Yeah.
And
We don't have much time.
yeah, so we'll call it 3 to give us the 1 mark buffer.
Yeah.
1. Yeah, because
We haven't even assigned times to these.
yeah, but it's a 1 mark buffer. That's good.
But I mean, we
It doesn't mean we have to use all
We
of
put
the stuff.
making the rating system for the stuff that's in like pulling stuff from databases, and the other one is just 2 variables, one of which being an average.
True, we might actually need to. Okay.
Okay, so next one. As a registered user, I want to be able to apply to the admin for privileges such as moderator so that I can run sites.
Well, the actual application is easy, but the actual setting up of user accounts is less so. So I would put that if we were relating, if it involved the actual setting up of all the user accounts, stuff like that.
You could just do it as a button for click for appeal.
Yeah,
You
but
have a
we
text
have to
field
ha-
and a radio button for which.
No, but we have to
selection.
have the coding behind the actual accounts. I would put 5.
Why?
Because,
Setup, you mean, right?
yeah,
Set up
all the
what?
data set up.
Because you're setting up.
Because we have to set up permissions.
Yeah, you're
And-
setting up to get a person as registered user and then turn them into a moderator.
And they'll all have slightly different views of the
That's
website.
admin. That's an admin story. The admin has the power to change user statuses.
Okay.
I don't think I had that.
Also, I think we're pretty much out of time, guys. It's,
Yeah.
well, we can cut the video.
On this side is just
And then-
sending an application, not accepting or rejecting.
So guys, am I stopping the video?
Yeah.
Wait, we're cutting the video.